welcome. This is Sophia's Road, and it's Saturday Brunch with Wolfie and Sophia's Road. I don't know
It
what we're
is
talking
Saturday
about.
brunch.
Yeah. What did you have for brunch?
Well, Sunday brunch on a Saturday.
Sunday brunch on a Saturday. All right. What did you have for brunch?
I've had nothing. I have not eaten
Nothing?
yet.
Not at all? Oh my. Okay.
No, no.
No?
It's been a little bit of a lazy. I'm so fresh and so clean, and we can see you are too.
I just dyed my hair.
It's very exciting.
It is very exciting. With henna. I use henna.
You use henna?
I use henna. No,
What do you
no,
mean you use henna?
no chemicals. Herbs.
But how? Okay, wait. How does one clean their hair? I almost said clean themselves. How does one? Well, I guess you're still cleaning yours. How do you do that with henna?
No, no. First
Like the
I
stuff they put in, or
color.
Mindy, whatever they call it.
That is Mendy. Yeah. No, no. First I color my hair with the henna, then I wash it.
And how long does that last?
On the gray, I'd say maybe a month. On my other
You don't
side,
have any gray. You're too young to have gray
that's
hair.
right. That's right. I'm practicing.
You know what I'm saying? You're too young for that. That's not allowed.
It
I don't know
is.
if you didn't know that.
I like that. I am going with that. I am too young. Exactly.
Too young.
Too
I'm
young.
telling you.
Young. Yeah, I am
Ugh.
too young. But anyway, so do that, and then I use Morocco method, like you use your Sasquatchy guys.
My Sasquatchy? My Sasquatchy. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I use Morocco method. So the henna, and then I wash with their awesome shampoo, conditioner. I know.
And you do this. You do finger.
I do.
Look how wonderful this is today.
Good. It's so good. My tresses feel so bathed and loved.
So, all right, I wanna make sure I don't forget this because I wanted to do it last week. Now this belt, my buddy made me this belt, and I'm trying to get him to actually do more with him. And what? Of course, he's an awesome dude. He doesn't think anything. The rabbi, you know, he's an awesome dude. And rabbi's like super creative, whether it be music or what else? Well, he music, or he literally made a belt. And what he did, literally,
Literally.
quite literally, he took a serpentine belt from a car, and with the tools he has at home, he made a belt. And he's made several of these. And I keep trying to convince, because he's like, with all the craziness I'm doing, he doesn't necessarily always get it with the shirts I'm selling or whatever other things I'm trying to do with the diner itself. But he's supportive, which is nice to have that friend
That is
that
very
actually
nice.
will, support you while doing things. Um, so he made a belt, and I'm trying to. It's awesome. It's really comfy and it's really sturdy, and you can tell it's not going to break. But then again, it's from car parts, so well, I'm sure you can use a serpentine belt for more than that. But still,
I want
I
to
think
see the
serpentine belt, and the
inside.
first thing I think is my heart. What's up?
I want to see the inside. Like,
Oh, the inside?
yeah, there was stuff going on inside. I couldn't
Yeah,
tell.
it's like the man that it's like the barcode and where it was made from and the product number.
That is so cool. Yeah, yeah. Show it off.
I thought it was, and I wanted to show it off. I wanted him to like. He'll probably yell at me for this because he's like, I just do this for me. I mean, like, and it's
Look at that. I love it.
oh, it's awesome.
I totally love it. We were
So
thinking, Wolfie and I, we want to help other artisans that we have a potential Etsy shop. It's not up yet. It's not going, but so these are thoughts of and putting up local artisans like who make belts out of serpentine belts and quilts and
you're
crochet
gonna laugh at
scarves.
me.
Uh-oh. Why?
I didn't know that's what artesian. I thought artesian was just a type of coffee.
Oh, an artisan.
Oh, artisan.
Yeah. Or sometimes you might say
Okay,
artesian, an artisan.
like potato.
Like potato, potato, tomato, tomato,
All
Nevada.
right,
Let's call the whole thing off. All right. Anyways.
let's go. Stop while we're ahead, if we ever were. But yeah, no, that is something we want to do. I don't know. We're real big. That's kind of who we are. Like I want to help other people. Mostly, not for my own self gain because I don't know. I don't know if you agree with this, but I always have a hard time believing there's a selfless act
Agreed.
because you're doing it for the right reason to be selfless, but you're also doing it to make yourself feel better. Or a a byproduct of it
Byproduct. Totally.
is, oh, I feel good now. Yay me. I feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
I like that.
Which with nothing wrong with that. It goes back to the fact of um, there is no such thing as a selfless act. We are greedy fucks.
All right.
Not
I'm a,
okay, I'm using a wrong word. I like my word.
okay. You can go with your
You
word.
can use a better word.
I don't think it's better. It's just different. I don't think we're. I'm just gonna say like not greedy, just that that's what cooperation in community is all about. That mutually beneficial.
There we go. That's much better word than greedy.
I don't. It didn't have. I didn't have to be better. I wasn't trying to compete. I just wanted
It's
to be
okay because it worked and it worked out nicely.
nice. I like it. It's cool.
So I started Babylon 5.
Oh, funny. So now you've gone from
Not Babbling 5, but Babylon 5.
babbling
I got Babbling 5 down. I might be at actually Babbling level 10. If there were levels, if there were achievements for
like in
talking out your ass or just never
yeah.
shutting your mouth, I believe I'm not quite politician level or I'd say I'm a little bit higher than typical salesman level. Like
Okay.
I'm above used car salesman
You're above that. I'm above
in
you
my babbling
and you're babbling.
because I'm not trying to scam you.
No, no.
See, so I'm like above that. But then again, someone maybe I'm gonna get a little. See, words are hard. Um, but I do love the sound of my own voice. It's horrible, but it's okay because I feel freer that I'm allowed to, be in love with my own voice again. I felt very, very put down for a while there. That talking to myself and hearing my own voice was not always a good thing. But it's okay now. I don't have that worry anymore,
Good. Less
and that's
worry.
good because I love me.
I love you
Probably
too.
sometimes to a bad degree. Self hug. Aw, hugs.
I'm hugging. I'm hugging you. Okay. I
Um,
haven't seen Wolfie in a year. Almost 2 more months. It'll be a
no,
year.
that's not true. You can see me.
Yes, I have not been in your physical presence for
Right,
almost a year now.
which does suck.
It does suck.
But, I think there you have a second head.
I do.
People walking in and off of camera, don't they know we're busy?
He can't hear you.
Whatever.
We are
This
gonna
is high tech stuff we're doing here.
so high tech. We're gonna shift a little because we want
Things.
to protect the innocent. There we go.
So who? Who are you protecting? There's no one innocent.
Our
Um,
viewers are innocent till proven
if
guilty.
anyone's watching us, I doubt they're innocent. Just
Saying? You
saying.
didn't know either of
Putting
us.
it out.
Oh,
Putting it out into the world.
I like that. Okay, I'm going with you. I'm doing the energy.
Nice. We'll encompass everybody. It'll be fantastic.
It is. It's
So
wonderful.
Babylon 5.
Babylon
Sorry.
5. Go for it.
Um, there had been some comments recently. Not comment. I mean, it's those comments that people, but comparing DS9 and Babylon 5 because they're very close. In proximity, if I remember correctly, the guy who the showrunner, sure, that wanted to do Babylon 5, I believe went to Paramount or CBS at the time, whoever owned like Star Trek, and said, "Hey, let's do this sci-fi show," and they're like, "No, no, no, we don't want to do that." And then a year later, DS9 came out, and then Babylon 5 came out. Um, I am willing to argue, though,
Yes.
as I get through Babylon 5,
Mm-hmm.
this is my argument. We'll see how that DS9 is better still.
Okay.
Um, one counterpoint that was already thrown my way, and I think there's going to be some damn good truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek is very clean.
Mm-hmm.
The Pyramidon is very always clean. There's no dirt and grime to it.
Right.
You know, basically, in a way of saying it, DS9
Uh-huh.
is like a JW Marriott, and
Uh-huh.
Babylon 5 is like a Motel 6.
Oh my God. Is it really that varied? Like it's that spread? That's a big spread.
It's already watching it, just like, let's go by lighting itself.
Okay.
I only got through three-fourths of the first episode because I had to go do something else.
Yeah.
Plus, it's on HBO Max, so I can't watch it on the TV in my room because the TV in my room doesn't allow me to. Um, it's not one of the apps I can download, but I can get every other app,
Just not
so I have to
downloadable.
watch it in a different room.
I see.
And unless I want to share it from my TV, from my computer to my TV, but that sounds like a lot of stupid effort for one thing when I can just go into a different room and um I can tell you this already. The commander. See, so I remember watching Babylon 5, or at least pieces of it, because I think it was on UPN.
Okay.
Um, here, I think it was on UPN. I can look that up in a minute. Um,
Could be.
I don't like the commander already.
Okay.
Um, through the first episode, I remember now in the second season they get a different commander,
Okay.
and I think I remember liking him more. I just don't see myself liking him more than Avery Brooks's Benjamin Sisko. Um, we can see what happens there,
Uh-huh.
but that's my memory of what happened. That and I'm looking at some of the characters, but it definitely is. It's a lot grittier
Mhm.
than DS9 right off the bat, and when they have to go into the alien, not everyone can breathe oxygen.
Nice.
Like they have to have the special alien quarters, and the humans have to wear special
That'd be interesting.
um, masks, breathing apparatuses to go through the alien sector.
Okay.
You know, um, there's still the five main species. Um, and right now, unfortunately, I can only remember Centauri and the Vorlons, and the Vorlons are the ones who are the. If you remember, they were always in those weird like ant or bug kind of feeling suits.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember or
I
not.
didn't watch
Uh,
Babylon 5, but I think
at
Billy
all?
Mummy. No, never. Billy Mummy was. Do you know who Billy Mummy is?
No.
Lost in space.
Oh,
Warning will rapidly approach. Warning, warning, danger,
I'm trying to
danger.
get more light on me, but I don't
I
think.
made it
Now I'm
light.
in the darkness.
Yeah, no.
Now
Come
I'm
out
in
to
the
the
dark.
dock. Come out to the dock. We're frozen. There we go.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right. But I like my hat. I like my hat, even though I don't mind my cue ball.
Well,
I'm lucky I got a round head,
it's you got a nice.
mostly. But I have weird indents right here.
I don't think so.
There's like weird
There's a
indentures.
weird indention there.
Picking at myself. You can't see them from here.
Oh,
Right here?
yeah.
Who does?
You do.
Me? I have, oh, what the hell are they called? I almost call them hot patches, but that's not what they're called. Chicken pox.
Chicken pox.
But anyways, back to Babylon
Back
5.
to Babylon 5.
Am I babbling? Um,
Level 20.
exactly. There's an achievement. I unlocked it. Um,
It's like The Sims.
I do. But to start, I definitely feel. Um, I don't know. Right now, it seems a little hokey to me.
Okay.
But then again, if you think about it, Star Trek's pretty hokey at times.
Can be.
Um, so I'll have to watch more of it. It was kind of interesting that they start off with an assassination attempt in the first episode
Oh, that is
of
interesting.
this random Vorlon species. There's an assassination attempt to start the episode. That's the main plot of the first episode.
There we go. We got Buddy.
Nice ass shot. Yes.
That's gonna be on there.
Yep. For all the world to see.
Yes, I think
Sorry, dude. It's Saturday. You know what's going on. There should be no surprises.
no surprises. You're in on it.
Just about the same time every Saturday.
Pretty close.
It's okay. It shows the community that we are live and we are here
This is it,
and
man.
that we we make no anything about anything. That anything can happen.
That's right. Anything. Almost anything did happen, but I caught it. I protected the
Nice,
innocent.
nice. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
We had a coming to Jesus moment, if one will.
Yes. Reach out
If
and
one
touch
will.
it.
There you go. So I've started it. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I do remember um, from when I was younger, I did like the second Captain better.
Okay.
We're starting to get into already um, the war between the humans and the Centauri.
Go with
See,
it.
I was trying to multitask too while I was watching, so
No, we're
that's
okay.
never good because I did my own first. I hadn't done a stream in a while on my Twitch,
Go check it
and I
out.
had it on while I was doing it. And it was just a test. It was a test to see if I have everything hooked up correctly to the Discord, and it worked. It came late, but it did work, so that's important. You know, it was functioning.
Function.
Didn't like the
Exactly.
time thing. And here I am. I'm just playing and babbling, and I realized that might be the best way for me to personally
He sings too.
stream.
Don't miss
Just
it.
playing and just be like blah words and yeah, we're playing and what the fuck and why is the world so weird and I don't get people and just go along with things and yeah, and that's what I did a lot of, and it was gritty. It was gritty or good.
I like it.
Words are hard.
They always
So
exist, or else we would both
they
be communicating through gestures and
yeah.
Oh no, you're back in the dark.
Mm, mm, mm. Oh no. Not really in the dark. The darkness of our lives will come for us. We shall continue to win and take them. Which is funny because taking them right now is kind of taking it back to the man is kind of a thing right now, isn't it?
Yes,
In the lovely world we live in.
it was kind of funny.
Um, you know, just because it's been talked to death
Hmm.
already, you go everywhere and what I'd like to maybe get your opinion on at least is kind of the other side of things.
Okay,
Um, basically, where hedge funders they didn't do anything illegal.
agreed. Nothing
It's
illegal.
perfectly legal. It's perfectly in all the they didn't break any laws.
Hmm.
Um, it definitely shows they got their hand caught in the cookie jar,
Yes,
in
and
my mind.
I mean, I know it's been totally talked about. Maybe you want to give a little backstory as to what we're referring to.
Oh, with the GameStop and the short sale, and how this group of redditors banded together um, to help um, go against the hedge fund because they tried to do a short sale for them to make millions, probably possibly even billions. I don't know if they would have hit that high, but at least millions for their hedge fund. And as of right now, it's kind of backfired on them with the stock price still being way higher, ridiculously higher um, than it ever should have been. And I'm hoping that the little guys who are in it now, some of the main people, it seems from the Reddit group, knew what they were getting into, are ready to hold the line. And if they lose their asses on it, they're okay with it. My big concern is the average Joe who's just jumping in and hopefully thinking they're part of some crazy revolution um, or a moment in time. Well, they are. They're definitely part of a moment in time. I don't think this will completely be a footnote.
Hmm.
Um, but in a year or two, most of this will probably be forgotten that this happened.
Yes, this particular
Um,
incident.
yeah,
And
which is a shame.
however, it is a shame, and simultaneously, it shows that when people build together as a community and work towards a common goal, almost anything can be accomplished. Just so you know, my
That's true.
friend who is in the background there, you are being seen on camera.
Yeah, keep causing problems, getting involved.
Oh, this is,
What's
I
his
like this.
shirt?
What shirt are you wearing
What's
today? Oh, he's wearing his Mambo 1%. What am I? Over
which Mambo
he has
1%?
100% solar battery power. So that means you want to get on your computer. He wants to get on his computer, and I'm in his way.
Well, see, he knows. He should have been prepared.
I I can adjust. We might see dirty sink. Or no, maybe I can move the other way. I can
Yeah,
move
you
the
see
other way.
Dirty Seek. It shows that you're a real humor.
I am a real
Humor. A
humor.
humor.
I'm
Or a
moving.
human. Alright, I have to. I feel weird.
All right.
There we go. We'll just put it on like that. Maybe I can rearrange myself too. We're not good with this lighting.
No.
We
No.
just kind of roll with stuff and pray for the best.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm getting you over there. Oh, I don't know what kind of shot you just got. Oh, okay.
it's okay.
Oh,
The audience gotta.
did they
The
get
audience of me and you got a show. It's okay.
did they get a little peek?
Awkward.
Nice.
Um,
Okay. That's all right.
the interesting thing though, and I would have to check it out myself, is there was a guy who was kind of going back and forth on me in a pleasant way. It was nice to have another conversation on social media that wasn't people digging at each other.
Mhm.
Was actually like the exchange of thought
I like that.
in a respectful way.
That's a positive.
Um, yeah, because you don't always get that.
No, don't always get that.
Um, he went into the group, and it's something I'm going off what he told me, so who knows how true false it is.
Are you looking at that? Okay. Yeah.
Just due to people being people.
Sure.
Um, that there was some bullying going on inside the group,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and the thing I find funny about that, not funny, the thing I find interesting about that is if you remember the Occupy movement,
Yeah.
which I personally felt was hot garbage because I had a lot of problems with that.
Yeah. What are
Um,
you looking at?
my main thing was I didn't mind necessarily what they were doing, but very quickly it seemed that the main goal
Mhm.
or main thing was quickly forgotten,
Mhm. Mhm.
and people just wanted to be on like, oh, this is fun, come join the joyride of this situation.
Mhm.
um and because of that it lost a lot of momentum. But one of my big issues with them is while they were occupying their brains out,
Mhm.
they were impeding others to getting to their job.
Yes, right. I do recall that.
And I understand you're making a statement, and I'm cool with that. Just like I don't like the people that stand in the middle of the road
Exactly.
to
Correct.
disrupt traffic.
Right. That's
You want to do a march, you want to do a peaceful protest. That's all fine and dandy. If you are in the way of like someone trying to go to work,
Mhm.
get the fuck out of the way. Like, move for the people. You're doing your peaceful protest thing. Now, don't be in the way of somebody else trying to get to work or trying to get somewhere.
Exactly.
You know, um, and I know that might be difficult, but that's something that should be strived for. Because yes, make your point, absolutely,
Mhm.
but you shouldn't be making your point at the expense of someone else who's trying to live their life.
Yes.
And that's where I get
Hear you there?
something. But back to our buddies with the whole GameStop thing. Um, I find it interesting, and me and you talked about a lot about it with people who are putting in, making sure you're comfortable with what you're putting in.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're willing to lose that money. Now, when I saw the one transaction that some guy posted, and that makes, first of all, um, my pessimism with the world today, and the one screenshot the guy showed me of somebody putting in 75K, I'm like, well, is this a doctored photo that someone put in 75K, or did they really put in 75K?
Right.
But in my mind, if you're willing to put in 75K and have 75K to put in,
Yeah.
um, first of all, you're probably not some person in your early 20s who
Mhm.
would be maybe messing with these guys, being part of the whole mess with them
Right.
thing.
Sure.
You might not even be in your early 30s at that point that you've generated. I'm not saying it's impossible because you may have family that's given you money over the years, or
You could be a
just
YouTuber.
depending on just depending on what situation you're in.
Exactly.
So I felt that was a little like, this seems like it's somebody else who has a 75K to lose. That if they're comfortable with throwing that much out there,
Yeah.
that they're above and beyond just some willy nilly person who's maybe overshooting their means.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Now
do.
the 5K,
Yeah.
the 5K, okay, maybe that is your savings.
Right.
You're kind of more of an average Joe. You're throwing that money out there. Okay. But on the flip side, like me and you talked about, they put in 5K,
Mhm.
the stock drops crazy.
Mhm.
They're out the fake money or the play money that didn't really exist because
Right.
it's all zeros and ones pretty much at this point,
Right.
you know, and the stock probably isn't going to drop to zero completely.
Right.
It's not going to zero out, nor do I think it's going to be pennies.
Mhm.
The stock's are going to be 0.02%, worth 0.02 cents. La, 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 la. Um,
Worst case
so they won't
scenario.
get,
Yeah.
they're not going to get nothing back when they take it out.
Their worst case scenario is if you put 5,000 in, the stock goes to zero, they lose 5,000. That's their worst case scenario. Which if
Right.
you don't
And
have it to lose, that would suck.
that, right. And you
Hopefully.
hope, and that is going to happen to some people
Mhm.
just by the law of averages. It's going
Absolutely.
to happen. And hopefully they're ready for it and they feel comfortable. They'll make that money back.
Exactly.
Um, the other part of it, when it came to the average person, I've totally lost my train of thought. Um, must pull it back. Where are you, stupid fucking thought?
Got it?
Um,
Back in now.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep rambling and babbling till I get back there.
Cool. You said
Um,
it was a cool
with the
way to protest.
right, and it is, and kind of go against them.
It kind of shows that, yes,
Hopefully,
people could do something like it was not illegal for the hedge funds to do it. It's not illegal for people to band together and also do it.
right, and they got and um, maybe this is a way that more people will come together and realize a lot of the divisive language and behavior, not just on one side or the other,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of divisive side on. We'll call them what they are, Republican and Democrats. There's a lot of divisive language to use on both sides,
Mhm. Yep.
and words are powerful, as we've seen,
Absolutely.
and certain actions into those words. If you remember correctly, I think it was right before the pandemic when both Republican and Democratic senators or House representatives all sold off a bunch of stocks
Right.
right before the market crashed.
Well, sure, because they can do insider trading.
Right.
Not illegal for them.
So they obviously had their hand in the cookie jar too.
Right.
And you're going to see change.
Mhm.
I believe this will cause some new laws maybe to be thrown in or
Maybe.
brought before Congress.
Mhm.
But you got to remember, for a lot of them, I'd say to most of them, it's going to be a dog and pony show type of law thing.
Mhm.
Like, oh, yes, they're so evil and this and that. And it's like, average person, dumb fuck, they're doing, they're not going to do anything too stringent because it's going to hurt their pocketbooks. It might mess with the donations that they get from hedge funds
Mhm.
or people who are associated with hedge funds or other traders,
Right.
and you're just gonna get another dog and pony show, and you'll feel good for the minute, and then 10 years down the line, when it happens again, you're gonna be like all up in arms again. So what do we have to do to change that from getting a dog and pony show? And then some real laws, which would be hard to push. This was just a thought, pie in the sky thinking of hopefully something is once you go into public service,
Hmm.
and AOC, whatever her name, I just always remember is Cortez, the woman senator from New York.
I do
I'm
not
so
know.
bad with all their names because in reality, I just see them all being the same.
I hear
Like
you.
you are faceless. You guys all talk, but you're faceless
You're
wonders.
talking heads.
Um, it is Cortez, isn't it?
It could be.
Osea
I
Cortez.
don't know. I don't know.
We're bad. We should look. We're not very good with our facts, but we're on the right path because we're not telling lies. She had brought up a thing that she doesn't own any stock and senators shouldn't own any stocks, and I agree with that. But it's like, okay, so you're not on that boat,
Hmm.
but where else are you getting your donations from?
Sure. There could be
And
lots of
that's,
things. Right. Right. Right.
you know.
But yeah, that makes
So
sense. There
I
are
agree that
companies.
once you're a public servant,
Hmm.
you have to get rid of and prove and consistently prove that you are not a part of any other business.
Hmm. Uh-oh. Did we lose internet? Yes, we did.
Because
There we go. Oh, we got some technical difficulties happening. Let's see what's happening.
Saturday, I don't know if we're even still broadcasting at this point because I
No,
can't see myself.
it just came back.
Oh, oh, it just came back. That's fine. Everyone wants to see my face anyways by myself, and that's okay.
Yep.
So I don't know if technical difficulties. We live in this world
Yes.
of technical difficulties, and that's fantastic, and we love it.
Exactly. All right. I will. You keep going, and
I
I'll
can,
figure this
you know
out.
me, I have no problem. But basically, the end result is they shouldn't be. The donation should be gotten rid of. If you want to run, you should be running on your own money.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be able to own stock. They shouldn't have any other income. The only income, and this is where I'd be okay with it. You know how it always seems like they want us to live. The government wants us to live off them,
Uh huh.
or push us down as far as possible. But be like, see, I did this for you, but not really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how logistically possible. I'd love to get your input. Oh, I remember what it was.
Yeah.
Um, I had a question for you, real quick, and then we'll get back to that. On the losses,
Yes.
on the people who lose their ass,
Mm-hmm.
on the money they put in.
Yes.
Hopefully, only losing their ass to where they're okay with losing that money.
Yep.
They can take the losses at the end of the year, up to a certain amount, right?
They can take losses up to their gains and then $3,000 beyond that per year.
So
So
there is a little bit of a light under the. There is a possible silver lining.
yes, especially for like so that person that potentially put in $75,000 knowing that they may well lose that $75,000, maybe they sold a piece of real estate early in 2021 that was $100,000 capital gain and they were like, I'm ready to make a point and if I lose $75,000, well, I can just use that against my $100,000 capital gain on that real estate. And now I only have to pay tax on the $25,000 difference.
Right, just like the guy who maybe put in $5,000,
Mm-hmm.
he bought something similar
Yeah. So we
because
don't know the story. We don't know what's behind it.
right, and that's I think that's something that needs to get looked at too for people.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And it also shows that the market is not really based upon how well these companies are doing, nor is it really based about the economy. They play a
right,
part, but a lot of it goes into the free market and the fact that supply and demand. So that's why when they were short selling, why the price they thought they were going to be driving the price down, while the people buying was driving the price up. It created a false sense of demand, which drives prices up, versus a glut of supply, which drives prices down.
right, which is why Wall Street wasn't that what the movie was called? Michael Douglas. It was just called Wall Street.
The Michael
No,
Douglas one was Wall Street. Yep.
And then there's The Wolf on Wall Street, the DiCaprio movie.
Yes.
That there's some very uh, probably factual um, things going on in there.
Yep.
Where because for a lot of the guys, the market goes up, the market goes down. They're making money off the fees.
Right. That's
They're
true.
making money off the sales. So to them, they don't care.
Right.
They just want to keep bringing you back in.
Exactly.
Be like, oh, you made a little money here? Well, I mean, I almost called him Ewan McGregor, and that's not his name. Oh my god, why am I blanking on the actor's name? The guy who does all the Buick commercials.
No
Friends with
clue.
Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
Oh my god, why can't I think of his name? That's so depressing. Hold on.
You're gonna Google it?
I'm gonna find it.
Look at that.
I'm
Look
even
at
just put in
making that
Buick
happen.
commercial guy.
Okay.
And he's more than that because he's been in it more movies than I can think of. And I'm gonna be really, really angry at myself. Oh my lord.
Angry?
Why can't I think of his name? Maybe it's not Buick. Maybe it's Lincoln. I'm screwing everything up. Oh my god, this is so disappointing. I'm so sad in myself right now.
I am so sorry. It's okay. We'll find it.
Um.
But in any
Oh
case.
my god, I'm so disappointed in Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, Contact. Okay. Mhm.
You know, man's only been famous for so many years. It has a million and one movies out. I can't think of his name.
I understand.
Hmm.
In any case, what about him? That's why you were looking him up in the first place.
Oh, he's in that movie in Wolf on Wall Street,
Oh, okay.
and in my mind he does a perfect thing of all the numbers. They're fugazi. They're fugazi. They're not real. They're not real numbers.
Right. It's true.
Your money might be real when you take it in and out, but while it's in,
Yes.
it's not real.
It's true.
It's whatever people want it to be.
Right.
And we're seeing that there's market manipulation, which I don't know why that catches people by surprise.
Mhm.
That's the thing I don't get. It's like when people are like, that happens? It's like, because I mean, me personally, I social commentary, I satire on our world, our country.
Mhm.
Um, but I do like being here because I meet lots of interesting people.
Mhm.
You know, especially working in hospitality, I do meet a lot of interesting new people. Have built some friendships over it. So yeah, this is a great place to be. I just wish people weren't like so shocked when all of a sudden the reality hits them. I was like, oh, I mean, great that reality hit him. I shouldn't completely knock him,
Yeah.
but it's like, come on, like where were you? How come you didn't? Why is this shocking? Or they completely. I mean, I guess I do get frustrated when over the last 4 years,
Mhm.
the Secret Service going to Trump's hotel.
Mhm.
Those rooms weren't given up for free. We were paying for those rooms. You know, and I know a rebuttal I would get. Well, what happens when they go to Camp David?
Mhm.
You know, but that's not that doesn't directly go to the president, whoever else is the president's pocketbook
Mhm.
or a company he's associated with.
Right.
So it's stuff like that. This like with the insider trading,
Mhm.
which totally happens, and I mean, as a decent human, I feel bad that some of these hedge funders are totally going to lose their jobs and might be joining unemployment. Most probably won't. Let's be honest; they'll find another job somewhere else, and because the one hedge fund does right now look like it might go under,
Hmm.
because they had to get big money from other hedge funds. You have a question or you have a thought?
I just interesting that this should put them over the edge. It meant that they overextended. That should not have happened. They didn't plan for every eventuality. Not that one can plan for every eventuality, but
Well, they thought the average person would keep being stupid,
they were not anticipating people were going to band together. I do agree with that.
especially in this world right now,
Mm.
where that's even going to be more. I mean, you've had on you've the signs were there that they would, because you've officially had, well, moreover,
Yeah.
you had rallies going on
Mhm.
that could be super spreader events. You had riots and protests going on where people were banding together,
Yep.
normally when some of them wouldn't.
Mhm. Right.
So why would you think when you get caught with your hand? And I guess that's the attitude of, I don't want to just call them flat out the rich, but
Yes. Yes.
when you have people of a certain level,
Mhm.
thinking that they're so high top on the mountain,
Right.
and then they're not paying. Oh, they're like, oh, look, they're just fighting with themselves here and there. The peasants are fighting.
Peasants are fighting.
They won't do anything. They won't pay attention to this because they never have paid attention to this.
Right.
So why would they now?
You're right. 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 Why would it be different now? I hear that. I hear
And they
that.
got caught. And I don't feel bad that they're losing money. I don't feel bad that some of them are going to, well, I do feel bad some of them are going to be out of jobs.
Well, sure. I would never want someone to, lose their livelihood.
Um,
Although they didn't seem to care. I don't. It's not going
right.
to come out right. But many, many, many people during this whole year, during 2020, have lost their jobs, and yes, there's been unemployment. Um, but there really isn't a care onto how to get these people back into work. That strategy isn't been out there. So now that some big wig potentially might have to reinvent themselves, well, good. Go ahead. That's awesome. Go back and reinvent yourself.
The coal miner that might have to learn how solar works, so
Yes,
he can continue having a job when his company changes from coal to solar energy or another form of energy.
exactly. Or whatever else. Exactly.
You can be taught. Your battery's running low, very low.
It was very low, but now it's better. I'm trying to get better lighting. I don't know that it's happening. I don't think it's happening.
It's not. Okay, we're in the dark today. We're
Yep.
shadows. The shadow knows.
I love that. We used to listen to that all the time. I would get that with Brandon, and we would listen. It was pretty cool.
That's where we get that from our father, an old time radio.
I know. I love that tradition. I think that's really cool. All right. I know I totally
What's a
got off track.
radio?
What's a
Is that a
radio?
thing?
I know, right? I have a hard time
Radio,
saying
radio,
radio.
radio, radio.
That's right. Video kills radio
Um,
star. Sorry.
the Bungles, first music video ever shown on MTV.
What was that?
And now you ask kids today what the hell's MTV, and they're like, "What?
Oh, probably. I don't think. Yeah.
Who was I talking to?" We were talking. Oh, so Monkey's daughter,
Uh huh.
his oldest one, Punk, that she goes by,
Okay.
which is kind of funny because it makes sense. Um, this guy that she knows that we're stream that's also on Twitch.
Yeah.
Because I'll just keep giving everyone random plugs. Postmortem gaming, all
Mortem.
tabletop talk, and gaming online. Let's see if he pays attention and heard me yell it. PMG. All right. Anyways, um,
Is he listening?
just throw random shots out. Who gives a damn?
Yep.
Um, he didn't know what Resident Evil was.
No way.
Right, and he's like 15.
Huh. That's unusual because,
Well, when was the last time one of the movies came out?
yeah, but Brandon knows about them. He's 20.
But he's also over 20.
Yeah.
Or he is 20.
He is 20.
21 this year. 21.
Later in
He
the
can
year.
drink. You have to come up here. I
Not
have to
yet.
feed him things he doesn't like.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not
In
quite yet.
August.
Yes.
You have to come up in August for a couple days.
He
Just
won't
for
do
that
that.
reason.
Oh, no, he won't do that. He's not into that.
Yeah, he says that now. Just wait. Just one. Just one. That's all I'm asking. I'll make it super light. I'll put in lots of orange juice so he won't even taste it. Or what does he like to drink
Water, lemonade,
besides water?
lemonade.
Lemonade. Perfect. Just a tad bit of vodka with some lemonade in it, just once, just for his uncle, celebrating another achievement. He unlocked another Sims achievement.
He did. He did.
He's 21.
He's 21.
Will be.
He will be. He will be 21. That will be very exciting.
It will be.
In a few more years, he'll reach the next achievement, which will be make a load off of his mom's mind.
There you go. Not be my problem anymore. Always be your
No, that
problem.
was not it. That was not it. He
Oh,
can't get drafted in another few years. I think what, age 25 or 6 or something.
I don't know. I just know I'm way past it.
You are way past it. You are way past
Um,
it. Every
that's
year.
good stuff.
First it was every year until we reached 18. Phew. Now it's phew, wait till we get to 25.
But they can always change that law like they do everything else.
Yeah, but hopefully they won't. You'll see. You have two boys. You'll see.
I do have two boys who are every bit boys.
Yes.
Who's got a birthday coming up?
Yes, I know. I'm trying to think of
I am.
I want to kind of move over to electronic card giving and gift giving.
Or Zell.
Yeah, I can Zelle. Is that what you I can
So we'll
Zelle.
talk about that off this. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Um, see, now I lost my train of thought again. See, logic train.
It's
Oh, so one other thing I wanted to bring up to you that happened this week
okay.
is my buddy Mac. Him and his wife. They're out in Michigan. I feel bad for them because they're in Michigan, which I wouldn't put on any human being. Um, but it's better than Indiana.
Every state
You
has
don't.
their
It's
ups
okay.
and downs. I wouldn't want to be in
Um,
Illinois.
but they had sent me a picture of this chick with a whole bunch of tattoos, and
Oh,
like every tattoo was one of those throughout the last, we'll call it 15 years, had every like generic trendy tattoo, whether it be the nautical star or the
mm.
state or um, being from like Michigan, they had all the Great Lakes
Oh, yeah, yeah.
or um, nautical stars. What's another? Um, the Japanese calligraphy,
Mm.
not calligraphy, symbols and whatnot.
Not kanji. What is the Japanese, Brandon?
It is kanji, isn't it?
Is it kanji? Kanji.
I think that's right.
Look at me. I know what I'm talking about. Not really.
It's okay.
That's okay.
We're not here for fact finding. We're here just to be as honest as possible. And if anyone wants to correct us, we're here to take that
Yeah, that's right.
because we admit that we're going to make mistakes. Come on, I couldn't remember Matthew McConaughey. You know that guy who's in the movie, who did the thing. Yeah. One last quick thing about that, which I do find funny. Speaking of movies,
Mhm.
there's a meme going around with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd
Yeah.
from Trading Places
Oh, yeah, yeah.
as being the original Reddit group,
Oh.
and then they have the guy Mortimer and It's Donamichi, is the one guy. I can't remember. Oh, Randolph, Mortimer and Randolph
Oh, okay.
were the two guys on the orange juice exchange. We knew this could happen. It happened with orange juice. Why can't it happen with video game places? See, they knew. They knew in the 80s.
They did. They were so wise back then.
They were. But back to the tattoos.
Yes, tattoos.
Um,
Yeah, where are we going? So she's got all these
she had all
tattoos.
these tattoos, very, very trendy, um, basic female tattoos. And then for some reason, of course, as per usual, that got brought me up.
Mhm.
Because I'm a little colorful.
Just a little.
And them saying that, a lot of your tattoos. Now, no meaning. I don't pull the whole meaning game
Mhm.
uh, with my tattoos, because let's be honest, there's not. Between a lot of my stuff, it was like, oh, that looked cool. Um, and I'm okay with it. I'm still okay with it. I mean, I have a giant Bruticus tattoo from Transformers on my stomach,
Oh my gosh.
and my ex would be like, "What are you going to tell our boys when they're older about having them?" Be like, "Dad's got a giant Transformer on it," and right now, I'm still cool for that.
Yes.
So as long as I stay cool for it in their eyes, what do I care?
Yep.
You know, whatever. They think I'm cool for now. Before I knew it, they'll be, teenagers. But basically, how a lot of the stuff I have,
Mhm.
um, they're like, a lot of your stuff isn't super, typical barbed wire, or I do have like one scratcher tattoo still that's the Chinese or the Chinese Japanese kanji on me. I think I only have one left. I think the other one's covered up at this point. This is what happens. You forget what you have on you.
Oh my God.
Flying kitty.
Flying kitty. He wants water from the faucet.
Oh, I had to stop myself. I was gonna say something else, and I'm like, no, no,
No. Oh
not
no.
gonna say that one.
Getting it.
Yes, cat.
Okay, let's
Can you can you zoom in on the butthole? We'll pretend we're watching Real Cats, the movie.
Okay. Well, cat videos, they people like watching cat videos.
It
Um
happens.
that's happy. Okay, let's see. Maybe now we can go this way.
Off the cuff. We are not here for professionalism.
No, no, this is
We're gonna be off the cuff. We're just gonna go for it and see what happens and make loud noises.
exactly. This is for water, by the way. This is
Is that your hot water?
no, it's my
Oh.
it's my water filter.
One day when we're out there, one of these Saturdays,
Yes,
Sunday brunch on a Saturday, I do want you to walk around outside and show us your land.
I would be happy to do that. We can only go
That'd be
so
wonderful.
far because that's how far the Wi-Fi goes, but
That's why you will do it off your phone. Oh, your Wi-Fi, not your. Ha ha
it's okay.
ha ha.
Ha ha hee hee ha ha. Anyways, funny power.
Dr. Demento.
Dr. Demento.
Um.
You were also mentioning about Resident Evil. That's the part we left
Oh
off.
yeah, how we didn't know what the hell that was,
Right, right, right.
and I'm just like, what? How do you not? That, but
I
I guess
agree.
it makes sense.
I remember one time I was talking to a staff member and I mentioned about a card catalog and their eyes were like, "What?" I said, "You know, a card catalog at the library? Huh?" It's like,
Oh, okay, I was
"Wow."
trying to figure. I'm like, are you talking Rolodex? And you're just using a different word for Rolodex?
Oh no, the
But
card
no, you're
catalog.
talking about the drawers.
Yeah.
You'd pull out in the Dewey Decimal System, and you had to pull the card, and then you had to go run and get the book and bring it back.
Exactly. You weren't even allowed to take the card out. You had to write down the information on the card.
Do I remember that? I see. I thought you took the card with you,
But
so
the
they knew the book was gone.
oh, maybe are you talking about at school, not in the library? Maybe
Oh,
at
maybe that is
school.
school.
That would make sense.
So it is.
Then they just
But
read
then
it.
again, my memory gets a little
Your memories are different than my memories.
well, and mine get a little foggy sometimes, and that's okay.
It is.
It's okay to have foggy memories. That's what you
Absolutely.
have friends for,
It's
to
what we
remind you
do.
what happened. And you just hope that the memory they have is legit and correct.
Because they might have fuzzy memories too.
Right. I mean, most of them weren't as fuzzy as mine. And Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
And he was a
Um,
bear.
so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy. Uh,
Mm-mm.
that's why that and just toot my own horn real quick and plug myself. That's where the whole it was one long summer because literally that's what Monkey would tell me. It was one.
Mm-hmm.
There was cold and there was heat and there was snow and rain and sunshine, but it was just one long summer because you remember that summer, dude. That happened this year, not this year. Well, yeah, it happened right. No, dude, that was 2 summers later. Oh, yeah, so
I get it.
words and stuff happening, and that's okay. I like to use. I remember back in the day, I'd like to use um what happened to me when I was younger as a do and don'ts and
Do's and don'ts.
um life experience. Back when I was a teenager and I went a little overboard with drugs and drinking and had gone into AA the first time around and doing all that stuff and telling my story and hopefully people didn't do quite what I did, even though we're the people way worse. And then we got into my 20s
Yeah.
and I took our sister too literally. She said enjoy life in your 20s and start worrying about stuff when you're in the 30s. Don't have kids yet. And that's what I did. I had lots of fun. I don't remember most of it, but I had fun.
But you had fun. That's cool. That's cool.
Once again, full circle. That's why I have friends to remind me.
That's right. Nice. had a very different 20s experience. That's okay.
See, and that's what these are for. These Saturdays, these Sunday brunches on Saturday
Uh huh.
are for people to hear life as we see it,
That's right.
which may not make any sense to anyone else. But
This is true.
fuck you, it's for us, not them. Um,
Truth.
so
Yes.
what you got going on?
What do I have?
What's your big thing? You got your library thing. You wanna? We'll start closing up here.
Yeah, yeah. So as we've said before, we have games for grown-ups. Those are used to be in IRL in person at the library, but obviously due to 2020, we've moved those over virtually. So once,
Quick question.
yeah,
Quick question for you. So once that starts changing,
uh huh.
and people, how are you guys? Is some of the group going to be doing in real life again,
That
and
could
you
be.
guys will just be digital?
It's possible. We do have an Illinois, the library we do it through is in Illinois, state of Illinois. And so we do have an Illinois resident who does currently help head up it online that would potentially be able to do it in person while we maintain also an online presence. So it's definitely possible that it could. Not to mention that people who felt comfortable grouping up together themselves could group up together and then come on virtually. So lots of
Now,
choices.
since you've been online, real quick,
Yeah.
have you guys drawn from other places?
I think a little
Have
bit.
people maybe come in that weren't expecting to, or maybe like you guys, someone moved randomly
Sure.
during the pandemic, and they were able to find some people in their area, and that's brought more people in. Anything like that?
Not majorly yet. I think a smidgy. There were Guido Tane who heads this up. He had he had friends in other states to begin with, and so I think he has expanded it that way. So I think there's some of that, but I think most of the people are the core people that were just physically going to the library in Illinois. But we would love to have other people. And if you are in another state or in a city that is not Lincolnshire, no worries, no sweat. You just go to the Vernon Area Public Library website where you can register for the program. Please do register. As it is through the library, the more people that join and show registered, the more the library can get the funding and proves that how very necessary and enjoyable and how much people really are looking to do this.
Which gaming is it? Is it's not? It's not. It's what games is it again? It's more like board games normally, right? It's not.
It is more
It's
board
not like tabletop gaming or
It has
LARP gaming.
it has not been a tabletop RPG that has there can be separately there has been some of that, but typically it's been online Jackbox games work really well and other digitally.
Which
Mhm, go ahead.
which Jackbox?
I think we own like five different ones of them that we play.
No, what is it?
Oh, you don't know what Jackbox games are? They're
No.
like party games.
Oh,
Um,
I've never heard them call that.
Oh, no, no, literally they're called Jackbox because they're by a company called Jackbox that puts them out. And they have them on
Ah,
Steam and Humble
oh,
Bundle.
learning. I've been learned.
Yeah, you've been
I
edumated?
speak gooder English.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So we did that. We are currently working on figuring out the mystery of our water heater. We use passive solar and it randomly has different temperatures that don't seem to make sense.
I blame Guido Tane. It's all his fault.
That was our conversation this morning. I said, if it's, I'm using the hot water now. And he was all like freaked out. He says, you're gonna freeze our tank. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not gonna freeze our tank. Number one, I'm intelligent enough not to do that. Number two, I hardly like use the running water anyways. So, so today we did a little test and it was 154 degrees in the water tank. I said, I'm washing in hot water today. And I went to go do that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it like dropped 2 degrees." Like, yeah, okay. So it's all good. It's all good.
It worked. That's the important
It
part.
worked. It worked. So that's what's going on here. Other than it's tax season. So if you are looking for someone who does does
I
public
mean, it's good.
speaking,
It's money. It's the money train time. Don't get me wrong. Being a personal bitch for somebody for 8 years, not her, not Sophia, other people. Um, that was always nice. That was a nice bump in the pay for working ridiculous hours.
we do work a lot of hours. But if you are looking for tax preparation, we do that. That's what we do. Um, So if you're interested, you can reach out. Check out our website for that. It would be www.mackl, M-A-C-K-L, associatesinc.com. Otherwise, if you want to learn more about off-grid and what we're doing, you could check out www.sophiasroad.com. We'll catch up on some of our projects and
And we've been updating now.
no,
We've been updating.
I haven't been updating. I'm doing
Well,
taxes.
now it's hard. Well, you got a son in a Guido Tane.
I have a son in a Guido Tane. The son
They could be doing some of that.
Guido Tane has been running around managing all the stuff on the property.
Hmm.
But he is going to update, he says, this summer. He promises. Life will be less
I think there should be a
stressful.
written contract. I,
To keep him functioning.
I understand. I understand. I'm not judging too much.
We got just a smidgy. Yeah, later today we got to go talk with another of the owners that we all are part of a private road, and a couple of the neighbors went out and fixed it kind of a smidgen, and we want to get them compensation. So we got to go talk to one of the owners, one of the
Well,
owners
that's
of the
cool. Well, this is a positive.
This is a positive. It's a positive.
Okay.
So we're working on it.
It's a process. You can't rush these
Can't
things.
rush these things. You cannot. That's not how it works out here, man. You got, you build a little something so you have shelter, and then you live in that for a while, and then you build another something and you live in that for a while, and then maybe you get a barn or you get a greenhouse.
I would love to see you with a barn.
Yeah, that would require me to have animals. And if someone
No, no.
no, just
You can have a barn without animals.
it's true. You can. You can. You can have a pole barn for sure. So if someone wants to come out and bring their own tiny house and rent some land and help out with animals, that would be so cool. We totally love that.
Knowing, to be honest, if people actually started watching us, um,
Yeah.
because fuck you, this isn't for them. This is for us. It's our excuse to be creative with each other.
That's right.
Um, it went bye bye again. It was it could be for maybe there'll be that one person,
I
and
know.
we'll be like, yes, come hither,
Come help us with chickens and guinea hens. Guinea hens.
and then you cut the chicken's head off, and you have food,
Don't cut the chicken.
and
Just
we're not killing the chickens for food.
no. Just
Why are we
take
killing it for food? Chicken's delicious.
yeah. We could just take the eggs.
Okay, that works too, I guess.
I don't know that I would want to
Yeah.
kill any of the animals that were on our property.
I would love to watch Guido Tane and Son Eclipse chop up that running after. Come here.
And the chicken is just going around with its head cut off. Sonny Clips would be
I'd be,
freaking. I would be freaking out. He would be freaking out with me.
but then you have to film it and put it up.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's
See, these are the great bad ideas I have.
that's awesome. Yeah,
Uh,
fantastic.
just
And
stuff for my amusement.
for yours. And where, Wolfie, can we find you?
I don't know. I'm all over. I'm doing things and stuff. I'm working. I'm fixing up my Discord server finally, so that it leaks like looks, but slightly different. A little bit more put together. That's the diner. I'm not gonna be giving out codes or anything yet because I'd like it to look not stupid. At least one thing I do look a little bit better than everything else. I'm
Like
AW
a
the link
process.
on. Can't rush these things.
That's right.
Um, on Twitch, which I finally put up a little well, I put up another test video because I had stuff on there. So there's that. There's the dash diners dash days at teespring.com where we have some of our quotables from back in the diner days. And the diner days is a lot of the BSing, bullshitting top fives, playing games of string along. That we used to say, try and help build community of. I remember what my community was when I was younger, um, into my my late teens, into my mid 20s. Um, so there's that. There's the YouTube channel, which I post for people who maybe are missing on Twitch, can also see there. And I can't think of the thing right now, so I'll just stop talking. That's where I'm at.
That's where
I'm
you're at.
I'm trying to do a bunch of things and pray to God something sticks.
I love
But
it.
either way, I'm having a good time learning.
That's awesome. I'm so excited.
I'm
I can't
getting
wait for
learned.
you to learn it so you can show me.
There you go.
Go. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
So
All right. Well, then, till next week, huh?
till next week.
All right. Well, we'll talk
Oh,
about
see,
more.
now I'm lit up. This is how I have to
I
sit.
know. That was great.
I mean, my ass is hurting right now from sitting like this, but whatever. There's no gains without pain.
Maybe.
Maybe I said that wrong. No pain, no gain. Anyways,
Anyways, till next week where we talk about more random things. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
toodaloo.
Let's see if I can actually make it work. Oh, yeah. Here we go. My mouse is doing funky things here. I'm trying to end it, but cannot. Hee hee. It's so great as y'all can see it too. There we go.